What we're now going to demonstrate is going from a standard dash lift onto a modified dash lift. The first step which we're going to achieve is to remove our guard, dress up our guard. We're then going to go through the process of a standard dash lift. As this is a new vehicle, the dash will more than likely not lift. We're then going to go in what we call a modified dash lift, which involves cutting of the upper rail. Firefighter on the spreaders will now move in and dress the guard. We'll then place a cut all the way through the base of the A-pillar. It may be applicable to make your cut from the front of the vehicle, as coming from the passenger side, the tool may walk in onto the casualty's legs. It is also imperative that we take all the strength out of the front section of the base of the A-pillar. The firefighter will then place a second cut up above his initial cut to remove a section. If crews cannot make a cut all the way through the base of the A-pillar, spreaders may be required to pull the piece of metal out of the way to gauge a deeper cut. Yep, there you go. Now cut all the way through the base. It is imperative we take the strength out of this lower section here of the A-pillar. Okay. Crews will now position the spreaders to go for a standard dash lift. If the dash moves or lifts, continue with the current operation. However, if the dash fails to move, we now need to address the modified dash lift. To do that, crews must gain access into the bonnet area. The crews will now identify the suspension tower and the firewall. This section here, located between the two, is known as the upper chassis rail. For the purpose of the modified dash lift, crews will need to weaken this section so that the dash will move effectively on new vehicles. As you'll see, we'll lift up the plastic and identify this section through here. The person on the cutters will now come and place a cut through this section. Crews must ensure they cut all the way through the upper rail section. After the firefighters have ensured they've cut all the way through the upper rail, the firefighter and the spreaders will then continue on with the modified dash lift. Crews will notice the difference being between a standard dash lift and a modified dash lift is the weakening of the upper rail. You'll notice by cutting through this section, we've effectively created a hinge point, allowing easy movement of the dash on new vehicles. Okay, you'll notice the strengthening bar running left to right through the dash of this vehicle is quite bent. We've conducted 2 dash lifts on this vehicle in training purposes. However, for a real life incident, it may be a requirement to identify the tie-down brackets running between the transmission tunnel and the strengthening bar in the dash. We'll now go through the process of cutting these and see if we get any extra lift in the vehicle. The cutting of these brackets will obviously depend on access. We'll now continue with a lift and see if we gain any extra room. Now note the whole dash is lifting both sides of the vehicle.